Hello friends, today in this tutorial I'll be showing you that in this live stream we will be building a CRUD kind of an application using SQLite3 database inside React.js and Node.js. So basically you can see this is the CRUD kind of an application. Here there is a functionality to add new users out there. Basically you can provide a name and a username, and then there is this simple add button. For styling it, we are using the Materialize CSS framework. Materialize CSS is it's a Google framework. It's a Google CSS framework, Materialize CSS. So this is the official website of this framework. So basically it follows the Google material design approach, front-end approach. So you can see we can delete the user. So if you refresh the page, nothing is there. So no users are present right here. So now let me add a first user right here. Let me add a name. Let me give a unique username here. And if I click add here, guys, you will see the username will be added here. On the right hand side, you will see the users which are added here, which is the name, the username. And these two actions you can perform, guys. You can edit the user, you can update the values. Let me update the value, change the value to something. Click update. You can see the name of the user has been successfully changed here. And if you want to change the username, you can even update the username as well. If you want to delete it, simply click the delete button and you can see delete is performed. You can add as many username as you want, guys. You can see in this list it will be added instantly. You can see that. You can see that. So you can add as many users as you want, guys. You can see that. So each user will have its own delete button to delete it, or you can edit the user like this. So in this way, guys, you can do this, perform these operations inside the SQLite operation. So for building this, we are using SQLite3 database. So basically, if you know, SQLite3 is a database which is preferably used in Python applications, but it's a very popular memory-based kind of a database. It is written in the C programming language, and basically it is very popular as compared to it is not so much popular as compared to MongoDB and MySQL database, but still it is very much popular database, and the latest version is SQLite3. So basically it's a database that we will be using in order to create this CRUD kind of an application. And for interacting with this database, guys, we will be using this Sequelize library. Basically this library makes it very much easy to interact with this database. So it's a rich modern TypeScript and Node.js ORM for Oracle, Postgres and MySQL databases. So basically it's kind of a engine, or you can say that it's a connecting force or a driver, which makes it very much easy to interact with SQLite database in order to create the records, insert the records, update the records, or delete the records. So we will be using Sequelize to interact with the SQLite3 database inside our Express application, and React.js will be the front end of the application. So here you will be able to interact with the database. So we will be adding this, guys. So keep watching this tutorial. So for having this, for all the source code, if you want the full source code, you can go to my blog post. I have given all the source code in the description of the live stream, so if you can even get the full source code. I will give in the live chat as well. So let me pin this comment right here at the very top. So just you can get this full source in the live chat, guys. You can see that. Now let me create a brand new application inside our desktop and inside our React.js project folder. Basically I will create a new CRUD app, cd into this CRUD app, and we will open this inside our Visual Studio Code text editor. You can see, guys, it is empty folder right here. So first of all, we will create two directories here. First of all, for the backend, we will create a backend directory, and also we will create a front end directory for the front end of the project. So now we will be going into the front end, guys, first of all, and here we will initialize a brand new React.js application. So this will be CRUD app. So this will be making a new React.js application inside this folder. So here we can go to this backend folder as well, just to save some time. So here we will create a package.json file, guys, for our project. You will see package.json file will be created here. So for building this application, guys, we will require Express, which will be the server. We will also require Sequelize. Just install the Sequelize, and we will also require our SQLite database, SQLite3, and we also will require course library. So these four libraries are required, guys. So it will hardly take some 5 to 10 seconds for the installation to take place. So after this, it will add this inside the dependencies section after it installs. So just wait. Now you can see it has install these four dependencies. We also need a dev dependency, guys, which is dash dash save dash dev Sequelize CLI. So Sequelize CLI is a command line tool, guys, which makes it very much easy to create the migrations, to create the tables, and to interact the interactions. So you will see dev dependency, it is installed here, Sequelize CLI. So just install this. And inside the front end, guys, our React.js project is created. So we can go to the directory here, which is cd CRUD app. And basically, guys, first of all, we need to install here the package, which is, let me see the packages which are needed for this. So if you see, guys, we need the Axios library. First of all, we need the Axios library to make the HTTP request. So inside our React.js application, we will require our Axios library. So Axios, and also we will require query string. So these two libraries are required for our React.js application, guys. So simply install this. So now we can open this inside our Visual Studio Code text editor. So you can see this is our brand new React.js project, guys. So inside our package.json, these libraries are installed. So now inside your app.js, guys, we will delete all this code. We don't need the logo. So we will start from scratch. So we can delete these files out there. We also don't need this test file. So just delete it. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. So if you have any sort of doubt related to this project, you can also ask in the comment section. So after this, guys, inside our app.js, basically we will now make a simple component basically inside our file here. You just need to put a component which we will make, which is navigation bar. So just create a components folder, guys, inside your React.js application, and inside this you just need to create a navigation bar.js, and this will be a, I think, functional component. Basically just go to the public folder, guys, index.html, and here you need to copy paste your materialize CSS. So materialize CSS, we are using this, so you need these link tags out there. So simply copy these link tags here, simply copy and paste. So right here, just paste it. So this will bring the materialize CSS inside this default styling. So inside this navigation bar, what we will do, guys, basically we will have a simple class which is of materialize, which is navigation nav wrapper. It will be gray in color and basically darken 4, and basically it contains a href tag. So it will have a href tag here. It will go to the home page. So class name will be equal to the brand logo, and it will be in the center of the screen. So here we will be giving a simple heading here, which will be CRUD app with hooks like this. That's it. So this is your navigation bar, guys. So now basically we can run our React.js application. So right here we can simply say npm start. So this will start our React.js application at localhost 3001, because already an application is running on that port number. So you can see it is starting the development server. So it will start and it will show that navigation bar, guys. So I think we need to import this. So navigation bar, so it will be imported from components like this. So if you refresh it now, your navigation bar will be showing, guys. You can see CRUD app with hooks. So after this, guys, what we need to do is that after we put this navigation bar, we need to make a home page. We will make a pages directory inside our source directory, pages directory, and inside this we will make this file which is home.js. So here, guys, we will be showing all the stuff which is needed, guys. So this time this will be a class level component, so class home, and basically this will extends the base library which is component. This will be imported from React, and this will have a render method, guys, as you all know, return. And inside this we will have a simple form, and basically we will be having a class name of container of materialize, and also this will have a row class. Inside this, guys, we will simply basically this is the edit form. If you see here, we just need to show the class name. So this will be having this class which is div class name call s12 l16. So these are all materialized CSS classes, guys. So inside h5 tag here we will show the number of users which are created. So here, guys, we will have a user table component. Here we will show all the users which will be created. So we will later on create this whenever we do the operations, but for now, if you just need to import this first of all. So right here at the very last we will say export default home. That's it. So here now we can use this. So home. So this is imported from. So now you can see users are showing here. So basically inside our home component, guys, what we need to do is that basically after that, this is so just before this, guys, before this div here, basically inside this container, basically we will have if you see here, we have this row class. Before just this, we will have a simple form to insert the users. So basically we will have another div tag here. This time this will have this class name which is called s12 once again, and l6. This is just the layout classes, and here inside h4 tag, guys, we will say add the user. So now to add a new user, we will have a component. We need to create this component which is add user. So for add user form, this is a component, guys, and here we will be passing this method basically which will be called this.addUser. So we will define this method later on, and also that's it. So now we need to define this method, guys, at the very top. So here we need to define this method. So add user, this will be taking the user which needs to be added as an argument. So basically, guys, we need to just add this function in the constructor, as this is a class level component. So we will call the super method, and basically here we will set the state. So we will have the state for this component, guys. So inside the state we will have a users array which will be empty by default, and basically after this the current user will be an object. So it contains three properties. The ID will be null, and it will have a name property which will be empty, and the username property which will also be empty. So we will have a third property in the state which will be called as editing. This will be a boolean parameter. this will be false by default. That's it. So like this, guys. So these are the 4 operations we are performing. So basically after this, now we just need to make this component, guys. So right here inside your components folder, you need to make another folder here which is called as navbar, and inside this you need to move this file, which is cut this file and paste it here. So here, just move this file here. So it is present now inside this file. So just you need to navigation bar. So it is there inside like this. So now inside components folder, guys, you will have uh, this will be inside components. We have the forms folder we need to create. So here we need to create the forms folder, and inside this we will create add user form .js. So basically, guys, this component will be responsible for actually making the request to the front end. So basically this will be a functional component, and basically here this will be having the props which is passed to it, properties. So basically, guys, we will be first of all creating a hook variable which will be user set user. This we will be using here useState hook. This will be imported from here. So we need to create an initial state object, guys. So initial state, initial form state. This will be an object, guys. Here the name will be empty and the username will also be empty. So basically we will initialize it to this useState here. We will pass this initial form state. That's it. So right here inside this return, it will simply return, guys, a simple form here. Basically a form will be there in order to submit it. So class name is equal to row, and here this form will also have this class which is called call s12 like this. So guys, here inside this we will also have these are all materialized classes, guys. So class name, this will be input field, call s12, and inside this, guys, we will have a simple input field, input type text, id we will give it to as name, name parameter to name, and the value will be equal to, guys, I will provide later on the value. Just do this. The value will be coming from this state object which is user.name. So we have this state variable which is user.name. This is equal to, this should be required, guys, for the validation, and whenever it changes we will bind a on change. So whenever it changes we will execute this function, custom function handle input change. That's it. We will also give it a label, guys, which just letting the user what to write inside this. So this here you need to write the name. That's it. Now we need to include this inside our navigation bar, sorry, add user form, sorry, home component. So basically, guys, we need to add this, import this at the very top here like this. If you refresh, guys, you will see handle input change is not defined. So we need to define this function. So right here we will define it, const handle input change. It will have the e parameter. So now you will see a add user form will be there, guys. Here you will add your name here basically. Similarly, we will have another input field for the username as well. So basically you can just repeat this for the username. Just copy this just to save some time. So please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. We will change the username. This will be username. So if you refresh it guys, this is name, this is username now. So after this we will have a simple button to basically submit the form. So class name will be again row, and basically now we will have a simple button. This will again have input field class call s12, and here we will have a simple button guys. This will be simply add user. So here we will be giving a simple class name, materialize class name, which is waves effect, waves, and waves light button. So if you see now, we have this nice little button here. So now we need to initialize guys a on submit to the form. So whenever the form submits, we will initialize this on submit. We need to execute this function which is submit form, and here we also need to define this function submit form. So first of all we need to prevent the auto submission of the form. So this event object has this method which is e.prevent default. So just do it. After this we will check if the user hasn't been entered, or the username. If any of the fields are empty, in that case or symbol here like this, username. If either of the fields are empty, then we will return from the function, and basically we will say props dot add user. We will call this method guys because if you see we are passing this method here to this component which is add user, this dot add user. So here we are calling this method here, and where we will pass this user, that's it. And then basically we need to clear out the fields here, and here we will set the form to initial form state which will be empty like this. So whenever the handle input change guys, we also need to assign the values. So we will use some destructuring here which is name and username. We will get this using event.target. After this we will set the user a object, this is user, and we will put a comma. The name will be equal to value, that's it. So for this to work guys, you need to give that name parameter. This is very much necessary, name parameter to both the fields out there, that's it. You can also do it by the ID as well, but name you can do it, name value. If you want to do it by the ID, you will put here ID, but we need to give it name here, that's it. So this file is complete guys. So now we just need to define that function inside our home.js. So this add user, basically this function will be responsible. So this will be add user. But before that guys, you inside your source folder you just need to make another folder which will be called as API, and inside this you just need to make a simple file called as, sorry, this needs to be services, just delete it. This folder needs to be services. So there will be a simple service we need to create which is API.js. So this will be having the information about the endpoint URL. So here we will import the Axios library, and basically here we will define the route. So axios.create, and basically this will be constant for all the requests if you make the update, delete, create, fetch. So here you will put the URL of the backend. So the port number, let's suppose I put here 5000, and just put this, just change the port number to 4000. And here you will also pass some headers as well alongside with the request, which is content type. So content type will be equal to guys application slash x www form URL encoded, that's it. Now we just need to export this file. So export default API, that's it. So we have exported this function guys, so that we can include this. So right here inside home.js we need to include this. So right here inside add user guys, basically we will call API. So this will be imported from services.api. So this contains a method, guys, this Axios library, which is post, and here we will post the API, and then we will also need to import the query string, guys, which will be, I think we need to import query string from query string. So import query string from query string. That's it. This query string library makes it very much easy, guys, to add the queries. So this contains a method, guys, which is called as stringify, and we will convert that user object to an actual string. That's it. This returns a promise response, and basically we can say this dot refresh. We will create this table, guys, a refresh user table. So you need to create this function, guys, which is refresh user table. Basically this will actually refresh the table to add the newly created user. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. I see people are not liking the content. Only one like is there. 7 people are watching the stream. So please hit the like button. 10 likes, increase it to. One of your videos helped me to implement Google It in a project. You are a great programmer. I hope your audience grows. Greetings from Spain. So thanks very much, bro, for watching this. So right here, guys, we will make this function, which is refresh user table, and basically this will be a function. And for this, guys, you need to if you see, we have this users data, I think, users data, which is this dot users data. Let me see users data, where the user data is. Okay, we need to define this variable, this dot users data. So this will be equal to API dot get API, and basically here we will be making this simple get request, guys, to fetch all the users from the database. So this will again returns this promise, which is response. So this will be equal to response dot data. This again returns a promise. So here we will get our data like this. So now we need to set the state. So this dot set state. So here we will set the users, which will be data dot data, put a comma, and set users will be equal to data dot data. That's it. So whenever we whenever we launch the application, we also need to call this method. So we have this lifecycle method, which is component did mount. So this automatically executes when you open the application. So here also we will call this method, which is this dot refresh table. That's it. So just format the document. So now, guys, at this moment of time, we can go safely to our backend file to create some backend code. So if you see here, we have this is the backend file that we have. So we can close this and only open the backend of the files. So let me open the backend inside command line. So open it inside Visual Studio Code text editor. So basically, guys, here we will make our API. So just make our index.js. So right here, guys, inside our so here we need to start our Express server. Basically, we will say Express. We need to require Express, and also we need to require, guys, CORS library, so that we can allow the access to make requests from other origins. We need to make a new Express app. The port number basically will be 4000, app.listen, we will pass the port number, and app is listening on port 4000. So you can see now app is started. So we need to use some middleware functions, guys, which is this body parser, which is extended to false, and also we need to use this course middleware. That's it. So we will use this routes file, guys, which will be there in the root directory. We will make this file which is routes. So here we will define all the routes which would be coming. We will forward this to this file. So we just need to create this file here, which is routes.js. So this file will contain all the routes, guys. So here just you need to import this express again, and basically we will have a router. So we will use the express router here, and basically here we will define all the routes, which is /API. If you make this route, it will be a GET request, and it will go to this user controller. So here, guys, you just need to make a controllers folder, sorry, app folder, and inside this we will have the controllers folder, and inside controllers we will have a user controller .js. So inside this you just need to basically first of all complete this file, which is routes.js. So user.controller, guys, it will hold all the operations such as performing the deletion, updation, all these operations it will hold. So we need to include this file right here inside our routes component. So right here at the very top we need to include this file user controller. So here we will say user controller dot index. This method we will define in order to get all the records. And now to get a single record, or to create a record, so we will use the post method which is there. So now this will be handled by a create method which we will create. Similarly, we will have a router dot put method. Basically, put, as you all know, is used for modification. So we will pass the ID. So this will be handled by update. And lastly, we have the delete operations. So delete, again we will pass the ID for which we need to delete the record. So user controller dot destroy. So these are the four methods. Just we need to export this module dot exports router. So that's it, guys. So we have exported this router. That's it. So now we just simply need to make this user controller file here, so that, and also, guys, just make a config folder right here inside your root directory, and inside this make a database.js file. And for this, guys, we are, as you all know, that we are using SQLite library. For this you need to install this SQLite latest version. Just go to their home page, and basically it's a database that you need to install. Just go to the download folder, and here it is available for Linux, Mac, Windows. It's a cross-platform software. And for Windows users, I have 64-bit computer, so I have already downloaded this one, which is 1.88 megabytes. It also has a command line system. So if you have successfully installed it, you will see if you type this command SQLite3, your command will work like this. SQLite version 3 is installed. So basically this is a transition in memory database. So after this, guys, you just need to put the path of the file here. So here you will simply say module.exports is equal to, and here you will put dialect is equal to SQLite, and then you will put the storage where the database is stored. So it is stored inside database database sort SQLite. So in the description of the video, guys, I have given all the source code. A GitHub repository will be there. So here you need to create a database folder here. So I will simply copy paste it. Basically, this is a database folder which will be there. So you just need to copy this whole folder and paste it inside your own directory. So right here we'll paste it. So now you can see that, guys, this database folder will be there. This contains all the migrations which are there. This will have this ID, name parameter, username, created at, updated at. So you just need to copy that. It will actually create the user table here inside this, and basically this is a migration. So basically it is using the type parameter, which is actually it is a ID parameter. Auto increment to true, basically it's a primary key and it's integer. The name property is a string, so Sequelize.string. Username is also a string, and created at is a date parameter. So all these data types are available. Lastly, we are put a query for the migration for the down. If you execute this, your table will be deleted. So these two migrations are there, up and down. So this is your actual database. So you need to be having this. We are providing the path here inside this. So after this, guys, we can go to the controller folder, user controller. If you see here, this is a database folder. You can see this is a migration. And now you need to go to your user controller file, guys, to actually insert the data in the table. So for doing this, guys, we will define const. Basically, first of all, guys, we need to create the model. So inside, I think you need to create a new folder which will be called as models. So this will hold all the data, guys, which will be stored for the application. So let me see. So this is called as index.js. So this folder I have given in the description. This will be a GitHub repository. So here inside your models.js, you need to create index.js and simply paste this code. And the second file which will be there for this, which will be user.js, and here basically you will be copy pasting this code. So here we are defining the user. This user table, guys, contains two properties, the name and the username. Both the values will be in the string here. That's why we are calling data types.string, data types.string. That's it. So this is the actual model of the application, guys. You can see we are exporting the database. We are exporting as Sequelize. So this is a little bit complicated code, but you just need to copy paste the code here which is given. So now go to user controller, guys. So after you import these models, now you have these user objects. So now you need to write models.export. So you will export these methods. First of all, now to get all the users, we will define all the methods here. Get all the users from the table users. So you will define this index method, guys, which will be required for this purpose. You will get the request response, and basically in this method we will say user dot find all. This is a method which is provided by Sequelize, and we need to find all the records. This returns a promise, and the users will be returned to us, and we will convert these users to JSON, and like this, and basically we will put error to false, and we will return the data back to the front end users. That's it. So this is the first method that we have defined, guys. You can now see this is the first method. Now if any sort of error take place, we can also have a catch block. If any sort of error take place, we can say response.json error is equal to true and data is empty. and error is equal to error. That's it. So this is the first method which is done, guys, which is used to fetch all the records from the table. Now we will be calling the next method, put a comma. This will be the create method, guys. So this is used to create a new record in the table, add a new record. So we will destructure the name and the username from request.body, and here we will call the user.create method, guys, in order to create a new record, and you will pass name to name, or you can write like this, the shortcut name username. That's it. So this will create a new record in the table, guys, and also this returns a promise, so we can handle this using user then. So here we will say response.status 201, and we will return the JSON data like this. So error will be equal to false, and the data will be equal to the user, and a message will be sent to the client that a new user has been created. You can see that. So we can also catch the error, so we can return this as a JSON message that error is true, and basically the data will be empty, and we can return the error like this. That's it. So these are two operations that we have performed, guys. So basically this is responsible for creating a new record, new user has been created, and the index method, basically you can see that. So just wait, I am coming, guys, just 2 minutes. Just wait, I am. So now, guys, we have written these two methods out there. You can see that we have written the method to fetch all the data, and we also written the method to insert a new record in the table. So these two methods we have written in the backend. So now we can go to the front end, which is React.js application. If you see, we are listing we have this add user form here. So basically inside our home section, we have we have written this refresh user table. Basically this will take the data from the backend, and basically it will set the state. So now we just need to loop through. Basically we just need to write inside the, basically if you see here inside our home component, if you see here user table, just wait. So right here inside our after this, guys, you can see inside this users we need to define a separate component which will be listing out all the users which will be there in the database. So this component will be user table, and just type this user table, and we will be giving some data to it, which will be the users array is equal to users like this. And basically, guys, we will also give a, we will just first of all give this. So we need to create a component right here inside I think, let me cross check. A table folder we need to create right here inside our components directory, inside our React.js, inside the components we need to create a table folder, guys. So table, and inside this we need to create a user table which will actually list out all the users which are present. So now, guys, inside this we just need to, if you see, this is the component which is yeah, this will be a functional component, guys. So basically the props will be passed to it like this. You can, now this will actually be a very simple, here we will have a simple table, and it will have a class name of responsive table. So basically, guys, here, guys, we will have a table row, and it will have three headings out there, which will be name of the person, the username, and that's it. And also we can perform some actions as well. So basically actions, this can be edit and delete. So after this, guys, we will have a simple table body tag. So inside this table body, guys, inside curly brackets, we will say props.users.length is equal to greater than equal to 0. Basically this means that if the length is greater than 0, if any sort of user is present, then we will display this user like this, props.users.map. We'll use the map method, and for each user, basically we will say, for each user we will have a table row. So table row, and here we need to provide a key parameter, guys, which will be user.id and table data, and this will be user.name. Then we will have user.username, and then we will have user dot, basically here we will have two buttons out there. Let me just delete this first of all, just to print out the, let me delete this. So some error is taking place. Let me see what is the error here. Let me also delete this. Props dot. So now you can see this is our user table. Now we simply need to include this right here, user table. This will be imported right here. So now hopefully this will, if I open this application, it is saying users is not defined, value is not defined inside home.js. What is the line number? Line 59. Let me see, guys, what is the problem here. Inside, if you see here, oh sorry, inside this render method, guys, we need to get the users. So we need to use the destructuring here. So we need to get the users from the state, this dot state. You can also write like this, this dot state dot users, but we can write like this. So users are there. So if you see here, it is saying value is not defined, unexpected use of event, where it is saying add user form on line 11. Oh sorry, this needs to be E, sorry. So again, value is not defined, add user form. Name is equal to value. I think this is a component which is add user form. Oh, sorry, this needs to be value. Sorry, name dot value. So if you refresh it, guys, nothing is returned because if you see here, 0 is not a function. The above error occurred in the user table component. Type 0 is not a function. If you see here, oh sorry, I will not, if you see here, so basically it's a ternary operator, guys. So basically that is why the error has been taking place. So put a question mark, and here inside put a colon symbol, and right here we will say no users are there. That's it. If you see here, now you can see that no users are present. You can see that, guys, no users are present. If I add a user, let's suppose I can't enter here. Let me see what is the problem. This is occurring, I think it is, this problem is occurring inside. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. I think this problem is occurring inside add user form. User dot name, user dot username, on change handle input change. This is required. So what is the problem here? Handle input change, user dot name. Let me just paste it this code, guys. I think it's a typo mistake here. Let me copy and paste it. So again, if I refresh it, guys, now I can write something here. So if you just refresh it, click at. So if you refresh it, so it is saying Axios error, error in network, connection refused. Oh sorry, we haven't started the server, guys, so that's the problem. So start the server. So it is saying cannot find models. Mm, if you see here, we have this models folder. If you see index.js, then we have user.js, and inside this user controller, cannot find models. Let me paste it, guys. This file, I think it's a typo mistake. So again it is crashed. I think this file is present inside app controllers. User controller. This is models index.js. User, you can see user, if you see. Let me copy the source code, guys. I think it's just a typo mistake going on. Let me stop the server. And also let me delete this models as well. So let me go to that folder here. Basically, let me copy these two. Let me copy this. App config database. Just paste it. So these three folders are now there, guys. So hopefully this time this will not create a problem. So you can see app is listening on port 4000. So our application is now running. So basically if I try to add, click on add, and so executing it, you can see that. So now you can see that all the usernames are now inserted. If you refresh the page, you can see this is the name. If you enter any sort of QQ, you can now see it is inserted right here. And now we need to simply now, guys, delete the user as well. So whenever we hit this button, we also need to delete the user as well. So if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. For that, guys, you simply need to go to the backend first of all, and inside the backend, let me open this in the Visual Studio Code text editor. So here you need to define the functions, guys, which is user, basically. So these two operations we need to define. First of all, we will define the destroy operation, which will be required for destroying the table, destroying the record. So there is a method, guys, which is destroy. which will take request response. And inside this, first of all, we will get the user ID for which the record needs to be deleted. So request.params.id. So after you get the ID, guys, it's become very much easy. User.destroy. This is a method, and where, this is a clause. So ID is equal to user ID. That's it. This is so easy using Sequelize, guys. These contains these nice little methods. So this returns a promise. So we can simply return a status of 201. We can return the JSON, that is error is equal to false, and a message that is user has been deleted. That's it. This is a delete request, guys. So also if any sort of error take place, we can simply say that response.json error is equal to true, and we can pass the error. That's it. So this is a delete request that, guys, we have written, guys. So now we can move to the front end. Basically inside add user form, basically we can add a simple delete button. Basically right here, if you see, we have a span tag, user table. So here you can add a heading which is actions. So the first action will be for the, basically, guys, let me add this delete action. First of all, delete button. So this will be again in the td tag, and this will have a delete user method which will be called, passing the user ID. This is a class name which is given here, you can see. So we will invoke this method, guys. So if you refresh your application, there will be this red button will be there, delete button. So if you now mean to click this button, you need to delete this record. So we will go to the home component here. Basically we are calling this method here. Basically if you see inside add user form, sorry, not here, inside your pages, homes method. So basically in order to delete this user table, we haven't passed the method, but we need to pass this method here. So now to pass this method, it's very easy. If you see, we need to pass this method which is equal to delete user. So this method we will pass it as a property, delete user. So this is equal to a object which is delete user. That's it. So now we need to define this delete user, guys. So this will actually delete the user. ID will be passed here. So now we will making a simple Axios request, guys, basically to delete the user. So here, guys, this is API.delete, and here we will simply say API slash, and basically here we'll pass the ID. This returns a promise dot then response, and basically here we will refresh the table once again. That's it. So now the delete operation is over, guys. So let me see, if I refresh the table, no records will be present here. Basically if you enter a record, so what is happening, let me see, I have stopped the server, I think. So it is saying root.put requires a callback function but got a route.put requires a callback function but got a object undefined. Let me see, guys, what is the error here. Destroy user.destroy. This is a method here. We are doing this. So guys, here you just need to inside your controller here. So just paste this code here. I think it's just a typo mistake going on. So you can see app is listening on port 4000. So if you now refresh it, so what is going on now? Div cannot appear as a child of tbody. Delete user. Oh, sorry guys. We need to wrap this inside a td tag. Sorry. This needs to be wrapped inside a td tag. So you just need to wrap inside a td tag. So refresh it. Uh, I don't know guys what is the error has been taken. So what we can do is that we can copy paste this code, which is user table. Just copy this code. I think it's just a typo mistake which is going on. Also paste this here. Let me complete this application. It will take a lot of time here. So home, where is the home page? So for this guys, inside your forms here, we need to create a new form for the edit operation as well. So edit form.js. So just create this file, and I have given this source code in the description of the live stream. So simply, this is the edit component guys. So just copy it, paste it. Can't resolve components table, user table, inside pages, home. Forms, edit user form, edit user form. User table. So if you're watching it for the very first time guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it to the very first tutorial. Some comments, let me read it. Hello brother, I'm using Puppeteer watching a video. It's not loading images in PDF. Can you please help? Okay, definitely I will make a video on Puppeteer so that in order to load the PDF documents. So definitely subscribe to this channel if you're watching it for the very first time. So this was the overall application, guys. This is a CRUD kind of an application. You can delete the records, you can update the records as well. All the source code, guys, will be there inside the description of the live stream. You can go to the description of the live stream and also get the full source code. And if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel,